In 3, 2, 1, you are listening to the Real Spicy Podcast. Dude, I'm super excited about this. When we kind of talked about this, we said, "Hey, how are we gonna do this with all the social distancing?" So we're in the woods. We're literally in the woods where there's nobody. Maybe a couple people. As you can see, there's ambient noises going around, but we decided to go in the middle of nowhere. And just do this so we can follow, I guess, social distancing laws, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's something to that effect. Laws, I guess you
Yeah.
could call it that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Recommendations.
Yeah, but so I'm super excited to do this. I got a good buddy of mine. I think every week I have a good buddy. At the end of the day, I think everyone has an amazing story. And I'm like, yo, this guy has an amazing story. He's into, like, great hobbies that I'm not into. But I know there's, like, a big industry. So, we got what can I say? A car enthusiast and also a gun enthusiast.
Yeah, I think that would be the best word for that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. So in the building we got Shaun Cook. What's good, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Good, man. Can't complain. Another day, another challenge, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, so you got to tell me something about you, man. So tell me, introduce yourself.
Man, let's see here. Born and raised in northern Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I was a farmer kid up there. Moved to southern Utah 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Decided, you know what? I like it down there. I like it out of the snow.
Yeah.
Give me warmth and get me away from all that. So, been down there ever since.
Oh, so have you ever been into? Are you into like being a city kid at all?
I would rather be like more middle of the road.
Middle of the road.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of like when it comes to being, like in the woods. Like, is this something that you like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that kind of goes back to what you do, because you do hunting as well, right?
Right.
Okay, so I want to talk about that. You collect guns, right?
I'll collect. That's a loose term. But,
Okay. You're
I
a gun
purchase
enthusiast.
many of 'em. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have my
Okay.
arsenal.
Okay. A small arsenal. Not bad. So so let's talk a little bit about that, because I don't know too much about it, and I know it's such a controversial issue that most people are either don't touch it, don't like to talk about it. I just want to know about you and what you do. What's like the coolest thing that you have?
Well, depending on what you find to be cool.
Yeah, what is like something you're proud of? Like, oh, this
So-
baby is rare, or something like that.
When I was growing up, I
Mhm.
was a young. I've been shooting with my dad since I was 4 or 5.
Uh-huh.
And when we went out, we'd go out to the woods like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And we had a little Ruger 22. It's a little 5-shot revolver handgun.
Uh-huh.
And I've got to carry that with me through my entire life.
Yeah.
Every time growing up, it's like, it's the basic, it's not expensive, but the sentimental value is through the roof to me.
Really?
Because it's what I learned on,
Mhm.
like being there as a young, tiny kid and going out there and
Yeah.
just pulling that back. And I had the opportunity to use that same Ruger 22.
Yeah.
I took my stepdaughter out at 5 years old and did the same thing
Uh-huh.
that my dad did for me.
With that same gun.
Same gun.
Oh, that's badass.
And if I could find the picture, we tried to snap it to where I had the same picture of my dad with me in that gun
Uh-huh.
and then me with Talon in that gun. So even though, it's not the high dollar fancy gun,
Yeah.
the sentimental to me
Yeah.
is better than any other one that I have in there.
Oh, that's incredible. So it's obviously it's an older gun then. How do you maintain these things because with age, metal might rust. How do you maintain them?
So,
Especially that one.
right. The gun cabinets are nice.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of them, like for the most part, a little bit oiling. I mean, you keep them oiled.
Okay.
Like you got to kind of keep them out. Like there's always going to be water. There's always going to be that. You're always going to have to check on them.
Yeah.
Kind of keep them oiled, keep them clean, keep
Okay.
them dry.
Huh.
That's the biggest part. I mean, if you just lock it away in a room for 10 years, never touch it, you're always going to find something on the surface. The surface rust, because there's always going to be humidity everywhere you go. So I mean, water, just like on anything else metal, water is really, really bad.
Oh, okay. Well, that definitely makes sense. I don't know too much about guns. I've shot like very few. I think because I took a class in college. It was a terrorism class, and so the main purpose of this is when I got my master's, is to talk about terrorism. That was the topic, and obviously when it comes to terrorism, they use guns. But he kind of wanted to show us like they're also meant for good. But in these cases, these are the main types: the AR-15, which it does not stand for assault rifle.
That is correct.
Yes, that's something because we did a CCW class, which is like a concealed weapons class, and that's what they kept mentioning. It's not called an assault rifle, but I shot an AK-47 and then a 9mm. I thought, because again, I don't know too much about guns, so when I shot this AR, I'm like, oh, my arm's gonna go flying. No, it was the complete opposite. I had more control over that than a little small 9mm handgun.
Right, right. So I'm going to jump in on you right there. The AR, it actually stands for Armorlight. It is actually a brand. So it's kind of stuck to it kind of like a Gatorade or kind of like Band-Aids.
Yeah.
It's the same concept, but people like to jump on that assault rifle bandwagon just because,
Politics.
the initials are basically the same and it's easy to do
and
do
scare
that.
people
Right.
on that. Yeah. But it was really cool. Also, this industry that you like and this hobby, isn't that really expensive? Like ammo and just guns in general?
Oh yeah. But I mean, with any hobby, there's a money pit involved.
Oh, absolutely.
Cars, guns, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah. So on that subject of money, what is the most expensive firearm that you own, and what is it?
Right now, I have in the process of being built. I have a custom 338, and
is that a handgun?
it's going to be a long rifle. So it is shot for long range. So
okay.
I guess you'd say, I'm looking to take that one out to, it'll be my 1,500 yard to hopefully 2-mile range gun.
Whoa. Okay.
So it's completely custom. I mean, somebody's building a barrel, somebody's building the stock, the action itself, the action. For those that don't know, that's basically where you chamber the round, where you have your bolt. And so all of that, it's a long not a long process, but if you want for precision, you want to shoot for, you're trying to hit a, 20-inch target, 1,500 yards, like everything has to work your way. It doesn't really work well with something you go just buy off the shelf and say, let's go see what we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, the more custom, the more fine tuning. Like these gun builders, they have the machines and everything to make them. They're beautiful works of art. Yeah. To be honest, like it's a process. And so when that one comes to me, that's going to be my most expensive.
Okay.
And so that's going to be probably in the mid 4 digits. So it'll probably be 5 to 6 without any sort of optics. But I mean, even at that, with what's out there right now, that's still maybe mid-range.
Really? A couple grand is still considered mid-range?
Yeah.
For that style of a firearm?
Right. You get the people, like, everybody's heard of the 50 cal, the Barrett 50 cal.
Yeah.
Like, that one out there, if you were to go to a gun shop, you'd probably find it anywhere from 10 to 13,000.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of what you're wanting. If you're wanting to take out, the neighbor's tank, well, that'll work out well for you.
Okay. Very true. So you with the firearms that you own, what was your mentality owning this and having this hobby of collecting them? Was it for protection, or do you do it for sport, like such as hunting?
Well, for me, it's like kind of like a blended of a little of each. Because I have handguns that I have for protection. I carry a Glock 23, which is a 40 caliber. For hunting, I have a 6mm if I wanted for deer, and a 300 Win Mag for the bigger game animals, elk, whatever, on the bigger game. And then for play, I have me an AR-15. I have, a few of them actually. So I mean, I'll build those in my little room.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like a combination of each, but it kind of comes along with the hobby. Some people are not hunting enthusiasts. Some people are not, into the AR-15s and the stuff to that effect. Yeah. But it's kind of, it's one of those things where it all fascinates me. I don't care if it's a little black powder gun from the 1700s or this new fancy computered minigun that hooks onto the side of a helicopter. Like, give me a chance at behind either of them, and you won't see me walking away unhappy.
Oh, okay. So for you, it's always about the experience as well.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned hunting. What got you into that? What did you grow up with that, or something that you came about?
Not really. It's something that I always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a big hunter, but we lost him 20-ish years ago.
Uh-huh.
So I was younger, and we never really got the opportunity to go out hunting.
Yeah.
But it always fascinated me. It's like, I want to go figure this out. So finally I started just kind of getting into it. What can I do? What do I need to do here? Started talking to people, and then finally I just went, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I drew out. Let's see what I can do.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you go hunting. What's the biggest catch? Do you do it for more of a trophy, or do you actually consume the animal?
When I hunt, I want to consume every bit of it.
Okay.
Like I'm not against it, but I'm not somebody who's gonna go kill a coyote for their ears or kill something just to kill it.
Yeah.
I myself want to utilize as much as I can of the animal. I want to feed myself. Like I fill my freezer basically.
Okay. What's the biggest catch that you've ever got to kill, I guess?
Oh, just this last year, I just got me. It's a decent sized mule deer. Nothing major. I can't say that I've had anything trophy size yet, but it's on the agenda.
So when it comes to trophies, what is that necessarily? Is it like the head, the horns of a deer? Or I know a lot of people that hunt bears, they make them into rugs and things like that. What is the trophy in a deer?
So that's going to be your antlers, really.
Okay.
You get a great big rack. There's some I can't even believe that they even find them, but there's great big racks. I mean, the average one you're going to find is what they'll call a 4-point. I mean, that's a pretty average sized deer.
Uh-huh.
There's others that they call them, what are they, non-traditional? Oh, I hope I got that right. I don't sound bad.
Yeah.
But that's the one where each side of the antlers are funky. So you'll have one with like maybe a weird little single antler. The other one's got them all coming off like a Christmas tree everywhere. Yeah. And so those, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They just don't have the even symmetry. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the bigger the antlers, the more the trophy value is worth.
Correct.
That's awesome. See, I didn't know these things. Because it gets a really bad rep.
Right.
It gets a very bad rep. But you kind of mentioned you're not out here hunting exotic animals like the tigers. What I see? What was the biggest? Oh, the rhinoceroses.
Right.
From South Africa. You're part of the game, and hunting is all about population control, right? That's why it's okay
right.
Okay.
Right. They have that. Each year the DWR, at least in Utah, they post what the population. What their efforts looking into it, they kind of post their population. They're like, this is what we found of the deer we have. They'll either raise or lower the tags that they put out, and so depending on what the year is from their studies and their stuff is pretty much what is they're going to release the tags for.
Oh, so there's science to hunting, not just shooting them. You have to get permission to shoot a certain animal.
Correct.
Oh, see, these are things that, again, people don't know unless you're part of that community.
Right.
Hence why I was like, I got to bring him in. He's into hunting. And plus, I get to learn because I don't know anything of that nature. To me, everything is new. I barely know a little bit about guns. And the fact that you know so much about that's incredible. And have you, how many firearms do you own?
I like to tell people I own enough to make the average person uncomfortable.
I love that answer. That's the most truthful, honest answer. Oh, okay. That's badass. What is your take? Because I hear this a lot. Oh, this is my new toy. For some people, it freaks them out. Oh, shit, a firearm? That's a toy? How do you feel about that?
To me, it's just words.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a person is responsible enough to own a firearm, I mean, it's not always going to be a toy, but I mean, you look at the lingo today and age.
Yeah.
Everything is referred to as a toy.
Yeah.
You got a new truck. It's your toy.
Oh, it's my new toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, I don't really care. It's just the modern lingo is how that is. I mean, it doesn't really stay, hey, it's a toy. I'm not responsible. No, it's just to me, it's just lingo.
Oh, okay, that's badass. You know, these are things that again, um, in my little small group, you know, some people refer them as toys, others as firearms, and then I can tell that some people don't like that word. Toy kind of freaks them out, especially because they're so deadly. But at the same time, it seems like you've gone above and beyond to be safe about everything.
Right.
So talking about safety, do you have cases that you put them in, or are they just laying around the house?
Uh, Depends on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, cleaning days. I make sure if there's no kids around, no nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I'll clean my guns on the counter. They'll be sitting there, not a big deal.
Yeah.
The kids come around. They're locked up. They're
Sealed.
I mean, I have a concealed carry. That one's put away.
Yeah.
Like that's really the only one that's gonna have ammo
Mm-hmm.
in it.
Okay.
The rest are locked up, ammo separated, just to keep any accidents from happening. I mean, curiosity strikes. You look in the news today, there's always something. Some kid found this and that, and it's like, you know, if you're gonna carry, absolutely, you know, carry. But I mean, you can't be stupid. I mean, there's a big responsibility with it.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, I mean, there's sometimes, well, yeah, you know, I'll leave a rifle sitting out, but I know for a fact nobody's coming over, nobody's touching it.
Mm-hmm.
It's there because I'm either working on it, cleaning it, doing that. But if I'm not using it, it's locked up.
Oh, okay. See, this is why I wanted you on here, because I want to talk about like civil responsibility. You know, especially with firearms, because you mentioned kids around, we hide it. If it doesn't need to be out, you know, you put it away, you seal it. How do you feel about others who aren't as responsible as you? And unfortunately, I think most of it you just hear in the news. It's never like, oh, this happened. No, it's always in the news because someone else's responsibility. How would you? Are there classes about that when people get firearms, or is it just you come as you go?
There's always classes. Like most of them, like quite a few places where I live,
Mhm.
you buy a gun, you get a free, you know, safety, you get a free class with it.
Yeah.
Like they will go out of their way to help you and do what needs to be done. If you have any questions, like they're always going to be there to answer.
Uh-huh.
But then again, you got to remember, you know, this day and age, there's people that know it all.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, oh, I'm the safest person in the world, and then you see them on the news. Oh, that worked out well for you.
Oh, definitely.
And so, like, it sucks. It's a double-edged sword
Yeah.
because you're trying to show that, you know, it's okay to have guns. You know, it's okay to do this.
Yeah.
And then you got the others that are, I don't know what word I'm looking for. They abuse it or they act irresponsibly, and then now they're getting a bad rap on
Yeah.
it, and so it kind of hurts the
Community.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it goes for almost everything. It always takes one
Right.
to literally ruin it for everybody. And yeah, there's certain things that, you know, obviously, you know, kids shouldn't get their hands on it, but also I've come to realize that the people who get these firearms, whether it's for hunting or protection, they're usually the safest. The ones that have like how do I say this? Because I'm not trying to be too PC, but PC at the same time. It's usually the people who are more responsible, and no one ever talks about them. It's always about that one crazy guy who went on a shooting spree. And they're like, yo, guns aren't bad. Because and I always hear the joke, like, if you leave a gun on the table, is it going to shoot you? Oh, good question. You know, good. That's a good analogy.
Sure.
Because they always say, you know, guns kill people. Actually, they do, but I think people kill people.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So that's one of your hobbies. The other hobby that I know a little bit, not as much as you do, but I like this one. You're into classic cars and rebuilding them, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What I saw, you sent me a photo once, and it was about a Grand Victoria, right?
What?
What are you working on right now?
It's a 1953 Mercury Monterey.
Monterey is oh Grand Victoria. Is that a cop car?
That's a cop car.
Oh, okay. Yes. Like, why did that sound wrong? Oh, okay. So, what year was it?
It's 1953.
53. So, how'd you get into that? Because that's a very expensive hobby. But actually, both of your hobbies are super expensive. How'd you get into the car one?
Okay, so that I grew up around cars as well. Like
Yeah.
being on a farm, we always always working on something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and we had actually classic cars that were basically sitting around our farm, and I was too young to realize anything about them.
Yeah.
Before I moved away. And once I moved away, I started driving. Then the tuner scene came. So I got me the Honda Civics and the Acuras and souped them all up to sound like a tin can being drugged down the road.
Yes.
I was cool back then.
That became a thing, especially after that one movie, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. Oh
yes,
yeah.
Those movies literally changed the car industry. Now people think that NOS is a thing, and is it a thing? Is that a
NOS
real
is a thing? Yeah,
it is.
But it's not as utilized for street. Like you don't need it on the street. Like it's a big drag racing. Like nitrous oxide is just mainly useful for drag racing. I mean, you're going quarter mile, you're going eighth mile. Like you want the fastest time. That NOS will pretty much directly into there, and away you go. Some quick horsepower with a lot of risk involved.
Oh, absolutely. So this car that you got, how did you get it in like perfect condition, running, or did you just get a body and slowly work your way up for it to run?
So when I got it, it fell into my lap. So I found it. Like I sold my motorcycle, and I was like, man, I've rode motorcycles for so long, I don't mind taking a break from it. Like, cool. And I'm like, I wouldn't mind getting something different, kind of looking towards like a classic car, because I keep, my dream car, I want 57 Chevy Bel Air. Goodness gracious.
Bel Air, okay.
Yeah, they're not as uncommon.
Yeah.
But they're expensive. Cause for some reason, my dream car is a lot of other people's too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I was looking, I'm like, my goal is to get something it's not destroyed, it doesn't need a ton, but it's enough that I can work on with my know-how.
Yeah.
And so this one fell into my lap, and it was not running at the time.
Okay.
But everything, like the outside was tolerable, didn't have any, the floor wasn't rusted through or anything like that. I don't have room to fabricate much at my house, so I'm like, I really don't want to cut and weld because I really don't want to.
Yeah,
so
and it's expensive. That stuff is really expensive.
Oh, my welds are embarrassing.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, it's not about that. It's about how bad my welds are.
Yeah.
But, so anyways, this one fell into my lap. And so we went over, I got it towed to my house. And so we kind of went through and everything and took out the dead scorpions that were under the seat. There was a lot of goodies we found in there. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
But it took 3 days. We kind of started checking everything out, started kind of just changed the fluids, seeing what happens, and day 3 we had that fired up and
it was working.
And it was running, yeah.
Okay.
That was a good moment because we weren't sure what to expect. And so there, you got the people who are like, "Oh yeah, it ran 3 years ago," or "It was running when we parked it." Yeah. Okay, well,
did you move it?
Yeah. How much do I believe on that? So there's always that risk involved, but we swapped the battery, changed the fluids, and
you started with the basics pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, you really only need a few things to start the car. Yeah. Kind of the spark the fuel in the air, and there's something else that's important that I can't think of offhand, but I sound like an idiot. But
no. So far, how much money have you put into this classic car? Right, it's considered classic, right?
Yeah. Let's see. After buying it, it took me a grand total of $120 to get it running.
Okay.
Most of that was a battery. I'm like, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, yeah.
I redid all the brakes because it's important. I don't care if they were good or not. Yeah. I wanted a peace of mind on my own.
Yeah.
And so they, had that going and had to clean out the gas tank. They whoever parked it had a full tank of gas, which was not good because gas does go bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What happens to it? Does it crystallize?
Not really, but it will, depending on what's going on with it, it kind of turns to a custard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this was almost like I don't know, almost like a...
Like pudding?
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And so I don't know if it was something mixed in it or what like that, but I mean, it took quite a bit to kind of get that out of there. Okay. And so the fuel lines, we just took, we got those cleared out. Luckily enough, it was not gummed up in the fuel lines. We
Yeah.
we really got lucky there. I'll be honest. That was a
In the
lucky
worst
move.
case scenario, how much, if it was something a lot worse than that, how much money do you think that would have needed to go into the car to start it running? In the worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, engine would have been bad. It would have been a whole swap. If gas wise, I mean, it wouldn't have been too much. It probably $400 redo gas line,
Okay.
fuel tank.
Yeah.
If you can find one that's been parted out or whatever, you can always get cheaper. A little bit easier on that way because fuel lines are already bent and ready to rumble. So if you can find that, then that's kind of the way to go if you're on a budget.
Yeah.
But not a ton unless you're really having to replace the whole engine or something to that effect.
Okay, and because this car is I've seen it. It's a very beautiful car. Do you take it to shows to showcase it? Are you looking to sell it? What's the purpose of this car?
Right now it's just going to be a kind of a cruiser. I mean, it's not going to be the $100,000 best of show winner by all means, but it's something that I like to fiddle with. I do go to car shows.
Yeah.
I did get a first place trophy
Oh,
last year.
okay.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I'll take that. And it's kind of under construction. I mean, I don't know how many people can ever say that their car's not under construction.
Yeah.
Because everybody's always there's always something you want to do, always something this.
Yeah. Come to realize through all this, the whole social distancing and essential versus non-essential, mechanics across the board have been very essential, and they're really full right now. I guess people have time, and they're like, oh, shit, I should probably go get my car fixed.
Oh, yeah, try going to Home Depot. They need to get their house fixed, too.
Yeah, Home Depot, too. I mean, right now, with all this going on, I've come to realize that certain businesses are extremely essential, like mechanics, like you said.
Right.
Mechanics. And something I discussed with you not too long ago, and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about this on the podcast. I didn't know. I'm telling you, I don't know shit about cars. You said, we mentioned it, putting sugar in a gas tank is obviously vandalism, but what does that do?
So that, when you talk about crystallizing, there's your crystallize.
Okay.
So it will actually suck up into the motor and crystallize and harden. Don't ever do that.
Okay.
Also, sand, don't put sand in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think why anyone would do that, but I was always told, oh, you should always lock up your gas tank. People might put sugar. I was like, sugar? And I never understood why.
Yeah.
So crystallizing, it becomes like a rock.
Right.
And nothing moves.
Right.
In that case, what happens? Worst case scenario, the whole motor is over?
New motor time. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So that'll go in there. It'll just harden everything. Because, I mean, fuel and oil, that's your lifeblood of your engine right there.
Uh-huh.
Without fuel, it ain't going. Without oil, it ain't going. So, I mean, fuel's what makes it go. If it locks up all that, it's like, oh, God.
Oh, see.
So it'll suck it into all that, into the chamber, and then you're basically out of luck on that motor.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think not just the body, but I think the motor is probably the most expensive thing. Sorry about that. The most expensive thing on an entire car.
Depending on what you're doing.
Okay.
In all honesty, because I mean, you can get motors out there for pennies on the dollar.
Okay.
And you can get motors out there like that Hemi. If you could find your original Hemi, those things are 5-digit motors. They are expensive.
Oh, is that Hemi? Is that like an American thing?
Yeah, that's a Mopar. That's a Dodge. So like back in the day when they have their little Dodge Chargers, you hear them talking about the Hemi.
The Hemi, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
V8,
those,
right?
Yeah, and it is a really good engine. Very sought after, very, very beautiful engine. But I mean, if you want one, you're paying for it.
Okay. Dang. So tell me a little bit about this car show. I didn't even know you had a car show. See, I'm learning a lot about you right now. So the car show, was your purpose like, I'm going to win this show, or you just happened just to showcase your car and you won? How was it?
I like to take my car in there. It's original. It's got a flathead. So, I mean, there's not a lot of people know what a flathead is. So basically, I don't even know how to word it. It's not like your conventional 350 where you pop off a valve cover and all your valves and everything right there.
Yeah.
By flathead, that's exactly what it is. It is a head on top of a block. Everything is basically inside the block.
Okay.
And so it stopped being made. I think my 53, 54, the last years of the flathead.
Oh, okay.
And so when I take mine to car shows, it's not really to go to win.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to go to win, I'm going to be disappointed every time I go. I don't care. But my car always gets the crowd of the old timers around it.
Oh, yeah.
And they always coming up, oh, I grew up in one of these. I grew up. So it's more for like the experience.
The
just to put
nostalgic
it out
feeling.
there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because most of the people going to car shows, seeing cars like mine, like I haven't seen another Mercury at any car show I've been. I've seen the Lincolns, the Fords. So very...
The Cadillacs. I see a lot of Cadillacs.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's one other flathead that goes to all the shows that I do, and it's a little Ford. And it just kind of makes me laugh because it's like there's just two of us down here. I mean, there's more, you know, there's be a ton in Vegas and Salt Lake and everything, but just being the smaller, it's like, you know, the cars, you know, the Lincoln
stand
stopped.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's always a crowd, and all the stories that people share with me, it's like, you know, that is awesome. The smiles they do, like, that is awesome. It's like, you know, don't give me any trophies. I don't care. But you know what? I do enjoy hearing what they have to say about that, about them growing up. And it's cool. It is a cool experience just for that alone.
Oh, okay. See, these are things that I kind of know, but not really. I don't know the logistics and the details of it. But at this point, it seems like most of the stories might be very similar. I grew up with this. Are you at that point now? You're like, I already know your story without even telling me.
Yeah, let me guess. Is your mom?
Yeah, pretty much, right? Because everyone has the same story, especially if it's, you know, if it's like a grandpa or grandma, you know, they're always going to have the same story from back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's nothing that I'm going to go, you know, sit there and say, I don't want to hear your story. It's like, you know what? By all means.
Absolutely.
Tell me about your story. Everybody's story is different. Everybody has a story.
Yeah.
And by all means, I'm here to listen because it's always something cool. There's always a twist. They are never, ever going to be the same. So it's cool to see.
I love that. Dude, I'm not going to lie, bro. So far, this podcast, you're the easiest interviewer or interviewee that I've had because everything is just going so smoothly. You said story. I was like, oh, thank God. Transition, you know, talking about stories here. So I know this I do know, and that's why I wanted you on here. Not only the hobbies, but also your story about weight loss. I love it because you lost a ton of weight. You transformed your body. You transformed your way of living. You gotta tell me about that, man. How much? Because when I met you, I was like, oh, he's just a tall dude. But then I saw you about 8 months later. What the fuck? Like, you were completely different. I'm like, I didn't even notice he was a big guy, but now he's just really, really fit.
Yeah.
Like, really fit. So what made you go into, like, where did you start? And what made you, like, shit, I gotta get my life together?
Well, like, I really don't know what kind of made me start.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, you know, you're about ready to go through a divorce, you're doing this. And it's like, I don't know if I count that.
Yeah.
Because even before all of that, I'm like, God, like, I don't like how I am. I've lost my motivation. I don't have energy to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to hunting and I'm just so winded and I just feel like I'm going to die trying to climb the mountain.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of all that. And I was just like, one day I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I think I'm going to go start trying to do the gym. I think I'm going to start doing a little workout.
Yeah.
And so I actually picked up an app. I have nothing to do with this app, but it's called Six Pack in 30 Days.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that. What is that?
So basically it's a ab workout thing. And so like I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. I'm going to start seeing if I can get into a routine for starting to work out.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can do.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have took a before picture because at that moment in time, I did not have many expectations. I was like, you know, I tried the gym before. I've tried this before. We'll find out.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and I made sure. It's like, you know what? It's only 20 minutes. You know, I will make sure I do this.
Yeah.
And I started seeing results. I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to like this. Like, my abs are always sore, and God, being sore sucks, but it's awesome at the same time.
Yeah. Because you know you're getting work done.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. On January 16th, 2019.
Yeah.
18. Oh, crap. Now I don't remember a year. But I know that it's January 16th.
Yes.
What year is it? 2020? 2019? Yeah, I think it was 18.
Yeah.
I decided I'm going to get the gym. I'm going to the gym. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gung ho. I'm gonna start changing it. That's the day it changed. So I started getting more gung ho on the app.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna wait till February because January is for quitters. I'm not doing this whole January resolution crap. So I started getting more gung-ho on the app. I'm like, I got this. I'm like, okay. And so end of January come, went in, started going to the gym, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And just gung-ho day to day. And then I have another buddy that I was texting at the time, and I'm like, what gym do you go to? I kind of want somebody to go with so we can kind of hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah.
And he, he's kind of the same thing. He's like, God, I've had a gym membership for 2 years, and I never even go. And I'm like, well, if I go, will you go? So, like, and then it was that moment. We started going, and we didn't stop. And then so about a month in, we're like, okay, you know what? We need to change our diet.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love food, but I want a six-pack. I want these abs to show. I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm 35 years old now. It's not that easy. I'm like, I'm going to get a month-to-month membership just in case it doesn't work out. I don't want to be stuck behind it. And that was the beginning of a whole transformation right there.
Yeah.
It was, I don't want to say it was like overnight, but it basically was. It was a decision I made. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Here I go. No excuses. And from there, the rest is history. Like, it was every morning I was at the gym. I ran into another couple females that were like, I'm going to the gym. Do you want to come? I'm like,
yeah.
Well, okay. I'm like, so then I'd go in the morning with my buddy.
Yeah.
And then go with them right after. So I'd be 2 a day in gym in like a 4-hour span. And I'm like, I don't think I really recommend this to people, but I don't want to let anybody down.
Yeah.
So I just went gung-ho. That lasted about 3 months. Then the girls weren't as gung-ho as I was.
Yeah. Yeah, because you were dedicated at this point.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I know what I want. I'm getting it. I'm doing it. And we set our goals where we wanted to be, and I was 240 at the time that I barely started. I weighed myself. I knew I was 240. I'm like, holy crap, I don't like this. And we hit our goals, and I remember every goal that we hit was in half the amount of time that we allotted ourselves on weight goals, on body fat goals. And so we just screamed on the downhill. The fat was just burning.
Yeah. And
then finally, we hit, I really wanted under 200.
Okay. That was the goal.
Yeah. I hit under 200 in 4 months. So I lost 40 pounds, basically 10 pounds a month.
Okay.
And
because you're what, 6'4"?
6'3".
6'3"? Okay.
Yeah. And so then it continued. At my lowest point, I was 184.
Yeah.
And I wasn't unhealthy. I wasn't sickly looking.
Yeah.
Like, I looked in the mirror. I'm like, holy crap, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got 6 friends in my stomach area.
Oh, that's what's up.
It was like, I scored my abs. I scored that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? This is what I wanted. The energy's there. And then hunting season came around. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm like, how is it going to be this year? I'm like, I remember how it was last year. And I swear to God, I was climbing those mountains. I was screaming through the mountains. I'm like, this is the greatest thing I could have ever done for myself.
Yeah.
Like, the motivation's back, the energy's back, the happiness. Like, wearing a tank top. I never wore tank tops. I'm like, Jesus. Like, I look down and all I see is gut. And it's all gone. I look down. I'm like, holy crap, I have feet.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, no, because that's incredible. See, because I'm telling you, bro, your transitions are incredible. It makes my job so much easier. See, I love it because you are right, man. Everyone has a story. Your story is very different to mine, and my story is very different than other people. That's why I'm like, I gotta get Shaun on the podcast. This guy has a very interesting life that I want to showcase, and the whole weight loss, man, that's incredible. And the fact that you kept a routine. I did a little bit of research, and research has shown that it takes about 22 days to maintain a routine. If you follow a routine after the 22nd day, your body, your muscle memory, and everything that goes on, you'll adapt to that, and you'll be used to it by then. So you did 30 days, and you're like, I like this. I like the results, and you kept going.
Right. And it's easier to have a friend with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're holding them accountable. They're holding you accountable.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, God, I really don't want to wake up at 7 a.m. Yeah, some people get up at 5. You know, cool. But, like, I go to bed earlier now just so I can do that. But I'm like, I may not feel like going to the gym, but I know that he's going to be there. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to be there. And so in all honesty, like the overall health, the overall everything has just been great.
So for you, oh, perfect that you touched that. So for you, it's not just about the looks; it's also about the overall health, how you feel, how you breathe, and the longevity too of your life.
That was kind of the first of it. It's like, yes, I wanted a six pack,
Yeah.
but I lost all my metabolism, like my motivation, like everything. Like I lost all that. Like I just wasn't happy with not only how I looked, but how I felt.
Yeah.
And so the main thing is like, I want, not only do I want a six pack, but I mean that brings it into also me feeling better all the way around.
You look good
Feeling
and you
better
feel
about-
good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so that being able to accomplish that, it's like, yeah, I don't want to be bodybuilder, freaking fit show, abs bulging out of every way and stuff. I don't want that, but I want to be the guy that is super pasty white at the lake, going, "Ha, I got abs."
Yes, that's the most important thing. Feel good, look good, be good, because that's the great thing about you, man. And I was always told, hey, when you lose a lot of weight, are you gonna be mean? No, and this is what I love about you, because you lost a lot of weight. Now you got the sculpted body that you wanted, that you worked for. Hadn't changed anything about you, but I have seen in some people, they lose weight and they think they're better than everybody, especially if they did it like all naturally too. Oh, they think they're like God's gift to earth. Look at me, I'm so hot now. Like,
Right, and I don't ever want to be like that.
Yeah.
Like, I've had people that are like, "Shaun, what do you do at the gym?" I'm like, "Come with me.
yeah,
I'll show you what I do."
Yeah.
Like, by all means, I will 100% be there to assist.
yeah,
I respect the fact that they want to.
yeah. I mean, you'll go at level 10 while they'll go slowly, because
Right.
Yeah, they'll go level 2 or 3. Damn, that's incredible, man.
But yeah, and it's not something that's like, "Hey, yeah, come to the gym and I'm just going to destroy you so you never come back."
Yeah,
It's happened twice, but I mean, I wasn't trying to destroy them. I was
Yeah.
just like, "We're going to do sit-ups today."
hmm
Well, the sit-ups were a little hard for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought you could do more than 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not ready for that, I get it. But also, they should say something too.
Oh yeah.
It's all about communication at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, it's not like, "Hey, I'm gonna destroy you with this." It's like, no, let's work at your level.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and make fun of you. I respect the fact that you're trying to do this.
Yeah.
By all means.
So we talked about the gym and now the kitchen, because common misconception that everything starts at the gym. It could, but the majority, especially for effective weight loss or effective weight gain too, if you're trying to get bulkier, it's all in the kitchen, man. So how was that, your diet then and then now?
That was tough.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing that's gonna really affect people.
Yeah.
Because I can't say that I jumped right into it.
Yeah.
But I adapted into it because I do intermittent fasting. So
Okay. So what's that?
I fast, so I do not eat from 8 p.m. to 11 a.m. of the next day
Okay.
at minimum.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how many hours that is. 12, 14 hours.
Okay.
So on an average, it's a 14-hour fast on a daily.
Yeah. And it's not too bad too if you think about it. You sleep for 8 and
Right.
you're not eating then. Yeah.
Right. And then I go to the gym in the morning, and by the time I'm done with the gym, done showering, it's already 11 or 12.
Yeah.
So
And you're hungry.
Right. And so
Yeah.
it's really easy. And depending on what you do, like I did my fitness pal and counted my calories from everything. I talked to a few people and did that. It's like, you know what? I want to cut down. I don't want to starve myself, but I want, I'm going to do about a 2,000 calorie, because, the way to lose weight is to eat less calories than you burn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did that, and I kind of set it up to where I ate at like 11 and 12 to 4 o'clock, and then like 7:30. So I'd be all done.
Okay.
And it was just easier to do that with my work schedule.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was called intermittent fasting. I didn't really know anything about it
Yeah.
when I began doing that, because I pretty much worked at 4, and I was like, I know I don't want to eat after 8. So
Yeah.
I ate when I was done with the gym. I ate right before work, and then I had my little late night 8 o'clock, 7:30 kind of snack dinner
Okay.
before I came home from work, because I didn't want to do the 10 o'clock dinners and all that right before bed, because that's the last thing you want to do.
Okay.
And that was a big part of it. I mean, avoid the junk food, avoid the sugars.
Yeah.
Cutting out soda was the easiest thing for me, because I never drank it in the first
Oh,
place.
yeah.
So that was easy to do that. I mean, that was cut, but God, I love M&Ms.
M&Ms are.
Do
Oh,
not.
that explains the bucket that you have.
Yeah, don't even worry about that. We're not going to talk about that right now.
M&M's. So you would say that would probably be like your guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
M&M's. See this, and that's what I want to know. You know, like I said, everyone has such a unique story. Intermittent fasting, that's yours, and the way you explain it, it doesn't sound bad.
It's not. It's really not. I mean, if you want it, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Like that's really what comes down. It's like you can eat as many M&Ms as you want,
Yeah.
but you got to account for it. But you want the good stuff there too.
Yeah.
I mean, I counted my calories for 10 months.
Yeah.
Out of all of that, and so I came up with a routine on what I liked. Like I ate a lot of chicken. Chicken was my go-to protein. Yeah. Love me chicken.
It has a ton of protein, very little carbs, fat. It's just such a lean meat.
Right.
And cheaper than steak.
And it was easy for me not to drink milk because nobody wants me to drink milk.
Oh, dude, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So I mean, I switched over to almond milk. Kind of did that. So I mean, a lot less calories. I think my almond milk is like 20 calories. For whatever that is. So I mean, it's practically nothing. But I mean, so the stuff that I eat, the chicken, the salads and stuff. So I mean, it's like minimal. But then like everything else, if you're gonna have a big dinner, I try to eat any sweets that I plan on eating in the morning because I'm gonna burn that.
Okay.
I personally like to do my heavier meal in the middle.
Yeah.
Because yet again, I'm going to be working that, and then just kind of a lighter dinner. That's how I did stuff for my own personal. Like, everybody really can do whatever works best for them.
Yeah.
Have their calories, but I mean, I accounted for each of the calories of the food that I did.
Yeah.
To keep it under that, and you get your cheat day, but I mean, you don't want to go and eat a 5,000 calorie meal on your cheat day and then back down to 2,000 on the rest. You're kind of defeating the purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, I mean, go eat, have a birthday cake, have a piece of pizza. Like,
enjoy life.
You don't have to really give up everything, but account for it. I mean, you don't want to have 9 slices of pizza one day and eat your whole pizza and be like, that's good.
That's my one cheat meal. Bro, I don't know if that's a meal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. See, that's my whole thing. I just wanted to get your story on here and share it with others. And also about intermittent fasting, because I think there's common misconceptions like, oh, they're starving. It doesn't sound like,
not.
No, it doesn't sound like you're starving at all. You're just timing your meals.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes later on, you get hungry at night, but I mean, it's not a starving hungry. Like, you go to sleep 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
You wake up, you're not going to be hungry.
Yeah.
If you're waking up hungry, you should probably eat more.
Oh, absolutely. See, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your body kind of tells you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think if I've gone to bed hungry, I don't think I've ever woke up and not been hungry.
Oh,
or woke up and been hungry.
Yeah,
Sorry, let me word that right.
Yeah.
Give bad info here.
No, dude, that's so badass that you talk about that. But yeah, man, that's incredible. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, man, and so for those that are listening and watching too. So right now we're kind of like in the middle of the woods, pretty much secluded from like the entire world. This is what I came up with. I was like, how do we do this? You live in a different state. Let's meet up somewhere, and we decided on the woods. Yeah. I mean, there's literally no one around here. That's what I love. So for those that are listening and watching, now you know where we're at. We're in the woods. And if you hear a little wind, I do apologize. I can't really control Mother Nature. I actually gave her a call and I was like, hey, can you make sure there's not too much wind? It doesn't seem like it worked.
Yeah, no, that squirrel came over here, flipped us off and left.
But it's very beautiful. I've never done this, and I thought that I would never do something like this, but you're used to this, right?
Oh, yeah. I love the woods.
See, I've never gone camping. I've never been in the woods. I don't really go hiking either in this because I'm from Vegas. So as you know, Vegas is just desert. So our woods is just flat desert landscape, and that's it. Yeah, ours is very different compared to this very beautiful site. But, dude, man, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with me. And I want to thank everybody who is listening to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google. Keep listening, man. Subscribe and put a comment, like that you're listening. And very soon, every podcast is going to get better. And I think everybody's story is just getting better. Like, this is pretty cool, man. Like, I
like this woods. I like this. This is fun all the way around.
Yeah, like I didn't know. I don't know too much about guns. I was like, well, if you don't know too much about it, ask questions. And I think that's exactly what we did today.
Exactly, yeah.
Ask questions. That's the most important thing. But on that, guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Again, you can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, and Google. And you can watch with your eyes what you hear with your ears. There we go, on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Bro, thank you so much for coming on.
Yep.
On that, I'm out.